Hi, welcome to Crafting a Meaningful Life. And as you'll notice today, I have no one next to me. That's because today is something a little bit different. I'm Mary Crafts and your host today, and not just your host, I'm your speaker today. I've decided that I want to go back to at least one time a month, having me, just me, talk to you, and not just offer my philosophies and thoughts on life and love and lifting as I interview people, but once a month I want to come to you when it's just me and I get to share time with you face to face, one on one, just like if we were at lunch together and you were asking me questions and I was sharing with you things and how I see, people's path forward and my path forward and our path forward as a country and as a planet. It's all connected. It's all part of crafting one meaningful life and meaningful life for all. So what I decided I wanted to talk about today were two words that have been kind of just like pushing at me for the last, maybe 4 or 5 months. And I feel like I've come to a little bit of understanding and resolve in myself on these two words. And the two words I want to talk to you about today are deserve and desire. The big D's, I'm going to call them today, kind of like myself. So, deserve. Let's start with deserve. Growing up, I got a real negative connotation of the word deserve from my mom. When my mom would say, I hope someday you get what you deserve. That sounded like a death sentence, right? She hoped that I had a child that was as wild and crazy as I was and who would just be off doing things and I'm just going to get what I deserved. Well, I did get 3 magnificent children and you've met my daughter, Megan, and she was so much like me. But she's ended up being this gift to me because she is so much like me. And thank heavens I got what I deserved. The reason this came to the forefront for me was as I was preparing to go to Ireland and be married to John and to find this absolute love of my life, my soulmate, my twin flame at this, I was 67 when I met John. And people would say to me this phrase, or they'd write it on social media, I'm so glad that you get what you deserve. That after all this time, you're getting what you deserve. And I was just like, I felt myself as a small child reacting to that word. Well, wait a minute. What do you mean I'm going to get what I deserve? And what they were saying was that because of the life that I had lived and how focused I was on creating love for not only myself, but everyone, that I did deserve this. And so I was still fighting against it right up until I went to Ireland. And I kept thinking, why am I fighting against feeling like I deserve this? Well, I can tell you why. The way that I was raised and the way that I lived 50 years of my life was that you didn't deserve anything. You had to earn it. And life was about doing and not about being. Even though I had given talks about that very thing, that it's more about what you are inside than what you're doing, I honestly did not do it. And I was not aligned inside with what I was saying I believed and what I thought. Deserve for me believed that after you've done a certain amount of work, then you deserve an reward. But if you hadn't put the work in, you didn't deserve the reward. So, what did I do that deserved this reward? And do other people have to do things to deserve a reward? Was that how I had raised my children? That when you do certain things, you receive a reward? Probably so. Probably so. So as I thought about that, I decided that just for being born, just because I was birthed on this earth, as a human being, a gifted soul from before and beyond, I deserve to be happy. I deserve to be happy just because I was born. It's one of those rights that we have as individuals on this planet, that we deserve to be happy. You deserve to be happy. Can you believe that with me? Can you not wait until you're 70 to believe that you honestly deserve to be happy? You don't have to earn it. It's your birthright. Now, in keeping with that belief, then the hope is that we live our lives in a manner that draws those things into us, that we become a magnet to great things by living in a life of alignment, that we just deserve it just because of who we are. We don't have to earn it. So, as I was trying to explain this to someone, they were fighting against it the same way I had. They're like, well, do you deserve to have money? No, that's not one of the basic premises. The deserving is you deserve to be happy. You deserve to be loved. You deserve to be safe. I didn't say anything about money. I didn't say anything about clothes or the car you drive or the house you live in, because those are not the things that lead us back to the things that we deserve. Happiness, love, safety, trust. You deserve those things, and so do I. And so by believing that and leaning into that and stepping into it, not just leaning, but step right into the word deserve, they will flow to you. Can you believe that? Can you have enough faith in yourself and in the universe around you to believe that if you simply believe that you deserve them, that they will flow to you? I believe that. And I've seen it happen in my own life. So the second thing is the word desire. Ha! So desire. Now there's another word that got a lot of programming from me in my childhood years, because I always associated desire with what? Something sexual. Yeah. You have deep desires. When I was growing up, it was, different crazy people. To be with Elvis Presley. To be with Superman, The Rock, whatever it was, you know what I mean? That those words had sexual connotations. Well, I'm here to tell you that the word desire really has no sexual connotations. Now, you certainly may desire those kind of things sexually, but it's not the big piece of what the word desire is. So I want you to let go of all that old stuff you've been believing about the word desire and step in to that word and to simply ask yourself, what is my greatest desire? What is my greatest desire? And if you put that out, what your greatest desire is, suddenly you bring all sorts of forces in the universe to bear upon you in creating that desire. So another word of saying desire is to say vision. What is your vision for your life? But for me, I have long time been creating vision in my life, and I've been creating mission statements. But the word desire for me was even a step beyond my vision statement. The word desire allowed me to sit quietly and ask myself that question. Have you ever done that? Have you ever sat quietly in a meditative state and asked yourself, what is my greatest desire? What is my greatest desire? What is my greatest desire? So many times people quickly respond with, I want to have all the money that I need. But then when you ask yourself again, is having all the money I need my greatest desire? I know a lot of people who have all the money they need and they don't have their greatest desire. I posed this question in a group of women, just 8 women that asked me to come and speak. So it was a small group. And it was actually at Poulet's group Elevate. And it was an amazing experience to watch these women try and get in touch with what is their greatest desire. And so as we went around the room and talked about this, I had women who said, I have no idea. I have no idea what my greatest desire is. And I thought, what a wonderful thing to be asking that then tonight, to have you step into asking. If you have never asked yourself, what is my greatest desire? What a wonderful time today to ask yourself that and to ponder that and to listen and to get in alignment with that. What is your greatest desire? I had women who felt that their greatest desire was to have a loving relationship and to have a family around them and to be at peace. Now, those are all wonderful things to desire. So if you focused your life on your greatest desire and it was to be in a loving relationship and to have a loving family and to have all those pieces around you, do you not believe that that is what would be created for you? Because if it's your greatest desire, what follows your greatest desire? Actions, intentions. You set intentions that you know you're going to keep every day because they're in alignment with your greatest desire. If your greatest desire is to be in a loving relationship, will you find yourself jumping from relationship to relationship with a million first dates and nothing more? Probably not. If your greatest desire is to have a loving, close-knit, nuclear family, do you think your intentions and then your actions will be, I'm going to work every day outside the home and never have home time because my career won't allow it, and I'm going to be focused someplace else, and once in a while, maybe once a month, I'll have time for my family? No. That's not in alignment with your desire. When your desire is first and foremost in the front of your mind, your intentions and your actions follow. And when you put it in the hands of the universe, you follow it up with your intentions and your actions, how can it help but come to fruition? When I asked myself, what was my greatest desire? Mary, what is your greatest desire? And I really had to go back to what I had claimed for my vision. My greatest desire in life is to create a world of oneness where we all are not the same. We're all still very unique, but we act and feel as one. When one hurts, another hurts. When one is in a loving relationship, I feel the loving relationship for me. We are one in what we want for this world. I've shared with you many times my vision of how I came to that feeling of oneness and knowing that that's what I was going to spend my life doing. And at first I was overwhelmed with the vision, but then the very next day I realized how to accomplish it. Me. I had to start with me. I had to see people there. I had to see people as one with me and not separate from me because of their beliefs or even because of their actions. I had to see them one with me. And from there, I could create that very belief system in one more person because they were loved by me in that manner. When I see people now, even when I first meet them, I just want to embrace them. I want to hold them. I want to feel their heart next to mine. I want to feel that oneness of connection. I want to leave a little piece of my heart with them. So when they leave, they take a little piece of me with me, and I can create a oneness connection with them. Every person that has lunch with me or meets me knows that that's how I feel and that that's how I embrace them. Oftentimes I whisper in their ear, please take this piece with you. And they know exactly what I mean. They felt it. Now, if that is my greatest desire, and I sent an intentional path forward to that, and my actions follow in line with that, do I not believe that it's possible to achieve it? I absolutely do. Will it happen in my lifetime? I don't know that. Will we be closer in my lifetime? I absolutely know that. I know that there are forces in this world that are moving us away from that, but there are equally and more forces that are moving us towards that, to that alignment of spirit and soul and love in this time. And I am thrilled to be part of it. If you want to be part of it, all you need to do is have it be one of your desires, one of your greatest desires, to be at peace, at one-ment. At one-ment is a worthiness issue, just so you know. When I think about my greatest desire, and when you think about your greatest desire, have you been thinking about it? What is your greatest desire? When you think about that, oftentimes worthiness comes in and knocks us right off the path, knocks us right out of the way. Because we tell ourselves, what? You're not worthy to have that. You couldn't possibly be worthy to have that desire. You're not enough to create it. And even today, after 7 decades on the planet, I still sometimes get caught up in that. But that's a very small percentage of time. And now, most of the time, I believe that I absolutely am worthy of this. Not by anything I've done, but simply because it's my greatest desire. And I pull all my intentions every day to create that. People say to me, Mary, you're the busiest woman I know, and you're retired. Well, my calendar does look kind of crazy. But it's because I fill it with things that every day I'm out and about, living intentionally, meeting with people, talking to people, spending time with people, spending time with my family, with my grandchildren, with John, living intentionally and having my actions follow that so that my greatest desire, that I can be one with them. And it starts right at home. Being one with John, being one with my family. There are times when I'm not one with my family. There are times that sometimes your children and the people around you, your parents, are the people you least feel one with. But that's okay. Keep going. Keep your intentions there. Keep your focus there. Because if you do that and your actions follow up, that is just the way the universe works. You have to believe that if you are in alignment and you are bringing it every day, you are going to realize your greatest desire, one step at a time. Some people think it's a dreaming issue. Oh, I never think about my greatest desire because that's just like spending my life dreaming my life away. Well, I'm all for that. I want you to dream your life away. I want you to keep dreaming big, dreaming bigger than you've ever imagined that you could dream. and have that be your greatest desire. That's what I want for you. I want you to keep dreaming. People say to me, I'm so glad, Mary, that you found John. And how did you find this at this point in your life? And I say to them, because I never stopped dreaming. I always dreamed that this was possible in my life, and I believed it. If you're stuck somewhere that you don't want, get in touch with your greatest desire. Set your intentions to get there and your actions that will follow. And that's how you get there. That's how I got there with John. I never stopped dreaming. Sometimes it's a limiting belief issue. And we all have limiting beliefs. They were given to us as children. They were poured on to us as we went through junior high and high school. And we just created self-fulfilling prophecies as we went to college and on to working and in our families. Whatever we believed we were about, we created for ourselves. So if you are in those limiting beliefs that you don't believe that it's possible for someone like you to have your greatest desires, will you please let go of that? Please let go of that limiting belief. It's only you that's creating it. If it's people around you that are pushing that belief on you still, get out, get away. Surround yourself with people who see you as your true self, who don't believe that you have limits, who want to be a champion with you as you create your greatest desire. Not a cheerleader, not somebody who's just there to cheer you on when you've had success, but a champion who's there to cheer you on at your darkest moments and when you feel like you've failed. That's a champion. That's what you want to surround yourself with. I have so many friends in my life that are champions that just cheer me on. My family, John, oh my gosh, John is the greatest cheerleader. When I told him this week that I wanted to write a second book, at first he was like, because he was there for the first one. And he was like, really? You want to do that again? I'm like, I do. I feel like I've had so much life happen to me since I ended my first book that I want to write about it again and share it with so many people. It's probably the best way I can share things that I think are going to move the dial, move us to that space of oneness. So why not choose a medium that will help share that? If that's my greatest desire, I should set my intentions to get there. And my actions would be to write another book. They would be to not end this podcast, even though it would save me money, and even though it would be much easier not to do this podcast every week. But I do have those desires. And so here I am. I'm still bringing every day. And the moment John saw that it was part of my intention, he was right on board with me. And he says, well, what can I do to support you? Do we need to create time and space for you? I said, I'm going to start telling people maybe I don't have time for all of these luncheons because I need to focus on me to get this book written. So I'm going to do my first book on audio so you can listen to it recorded rather than reading it, because what I've discovered is that 3/4 of you don't read a book. So I'm going to do that first, and so stay tuned for that audio version of that. And once that's done, I'm going to start writing a book again, my second book. I know my last book is going to be called And She Did It All in Heels. But now that I've had back surgery, I'm not sure I can do that because I wear heels a lot less off. Oh, there you go. But it's part of crafting a meaningful life. If you watch this podcast on a regular basis, I know it's because you're about crafting your meaningful life. And you want to make a difference. And you want your greatest desire. That's why you're watching. So what I invite you to do is to spend time with yourself, to meditate, to listen to yourself, to keep dreaming. Deepak Chopra says about desire and intention that if you can get in touch with your greatest desire, turn it to the universe, it's theirs to fulfill. Your piece is to focus on your intentional living and to bring your actions in alignment with your greatest desire. I really see that. If my greatest desire is to create oneness on this planet, I cannot do that alone. I have to turn it over to the universe to assist me. And I don't care if you call it the universe or God or your spirit guides or the whole consciousness, whatever you call it. Can you see that I can't create that on my own? But what I can do is be a piece of it. And I can set my intentions every single day to bring myself in alignment with that. And I can have my actions follow my greatest desire. That's the piece that I can do. Now, what I wanted to talk to you about was also what it means to be in alignment. We don't have time for that. That's another podcast probably. I was hoping I'd get to it today, but I'm not. So I want you to stay tuned next month as I come back, and I'm going to talk to you about what it means to be in alignment and how you can achieve that in your life and what that looks like. Because you hear that word a lot, live in alignment. Well, that's great. What does that mean? And you hear the words now, I mean, they're like do you know what the most searched word was on Google in 2023? Authenticity. Because we hear that word so much. People want to know, what does that mean? What does that mean to be authentic? Well, it's kind of part of being in alignment. When you say I'm genuine, it's part of being vulnerable. It's part of all of that, but we'll talk about that next time. Until next time, I want you to think about that. What do you deserve in your life? Do you think you deserve something? Can you claim what you deserve for simply being born? And I want you to think about your greatest desire. What is it? And what can you put out to the universe to achieve and accomplish for you while you bring your intentions and your actions into alignment? Think about and ponder. The reason now that I feel like I'm learning so much at such a rapid rate is because my brain is working faster than it used to. My heart is working faster. And I spend time, even if it's 5 minutes a day, thinking about things that are about my greatest desire and what my life looks like if I'm bringing that for my desire, my greatest desire. And this is the fun part, is that all of you get to take advantage of my greatest desire. When a greatest desire extends outside of yourself to others and involves the betterment of all, you have a lot higher likelihood of achieving it. John said to me, what if my desire is to have a fancy car like that guy has? And I said back to him, I said, well, I really don't think that is your greatest desire if you were to think about it. But if it is, it's kind of what we call a low vibration desire. And when you think about a high vibration desire, how much more likely is the universe ready to step in and help you fulfill a high vibration desire as opposed to a low vibration desire? And then when he thought about it, he said, I understand that I think for the first time. A high vibration desire is for the good of all, rather than just so that I can be better than or prove to me that I'm enough. You don't have to do that. My sweet loves, you are enough. And I want you to step into it this week. Thanks for joining me.
Crafting a meaningful life.